OMG HKP, my wedding invitations are here, and you guys, they are so good. I'm so excited to show them to you. So I did custom design my wedding invitation suite, and I'm just excited about it, so I wanted to share it with you. And then I also have to go through and actually assemble them and package them all together to be able to put them in the mail. And I thought it would be a good time for me to film a video and update you on everything that's going on in the wedding planning process. When I first got engaged, I immediately thought back to my friend Kira's wedding invitations. If you guys have been a longtime viewer, then you probably remember Kira, but she recently got married and she had the most beautiful wedding invitation suite. I immediately reached out to her and I was like, girl, who did your wedding invitations? She told me it was from a website called Margo and Bee. I'm gonna link them down below. I reached out to them and I said, I have kind of an ambitious idea because I want to custom design my own set, but I need them like yesterday because my wedding is this fall. Funny enough, Elle actually found a wedding invitation suite online that she thought was really pretty and sent it to me, and it turned out to be the same company. So if you guys just through like Pinterest or searching online have found this site and you're kind of questioning like, is this a good site to go with? I 1000% recommend them. They were absolutely incredible. I did have them make a dummy set for me, so it has addresses that do not exist with people's names that I do not know. It does not have our actual like wedding date or venue on it, just because this is the internet, and I know that no one, I don't think, would show up uninvited to my wedding, but I also have learned for the last 15 years on the internet that you can never be too safe. All right, so here is what the invitations look like. Obviously, they'll have stamps on them. This is a fake address and people that we do not know. So this is what the front of the invitation looks like. And then the back of the invitation has our return address. This says that we live in the United Kingdom. Obviously we don't, but it's the future Mr. and Mrs. Gordon. And then for the first wax seal, we have our B and G on there. So I think that's really cute. And then you go ahead and open it up, and oh my goodness, look how beautiful it is. I do want to point out that all of the liners came already installed, and there's this little enclosure that you peel this back, and when you go to actually close your envelope, you do not have to lick the envelope. So that is the little sticky that holds it closed, which I just thought if you're sending out like however many invitations, that is a great detail to have. So this is a really gorgeous paper with our custom watercolored on it. And then you go ahead and pull out the invitation suite. So this is what it will look like if you were a guest and it was coming to you. Again, we have that watercolor design on all of these vellum enclosures. We went with a different wax seal for this. This is a floral one, and obviously you can open this, but I don't want to rip this enclosure, so I'm just going to go ahead and slide the whole suite out on its own. This is what it looks like from the back, but I'm just going to hold this and slide the whole thing out. So first off, you have our actual wedding invitation. So we have our little monogram at the top, and then together with their families, Blair Fowler and Grant Gordon request the pleasure of your company at their wedding. Friday, this is actually all fake. Venue is where our actual venue is printed, and then reception to follow. Then you have a details card. So we talk about the accommodations. We reserved a block at a hotel that is going to do discounted rooms, and then reception following the ceremony. There's a cocktail hour, just so people know in between timeline wise of the ceremony to the reception. They don't have to try to like fill that hour with an adventure or something to do. We will be having a cocktail hour. And then on the back, we have the dress code and additional details. So we ended up changing the wording of the dress code a little bit. This felt too wordy to me. So our actual invitations, this is like the version before, but basically it's just saying that it's black tie optional. If you want to use it as a time to dress up in a gown or tuxedo, you can, but it's more important for us that you're there and that you're comfortable, so wear whatever makes you feel your best. And then we have our wedding website linked with additional weekend events, commonly asked questions, and the password. And then finally, you have your RSVP card. So we went ahead and decided that we wanted people to RSVP on our wedding website. And so we are collecting the RSVP number and their dinner entree. And down here, this is the only place that I'm handwriting anything, but I'm writing how many seats have been reserved in your honor, so they know basically like how many dinner entrees to select. And we don't have a return envelope for this because it is a digital RSVP. I think a lot of people that get their invitation from Margo and Bee's go the custom route and do like either a venue watercolor or something that is very personal to them and their wedding. My friend Kira had her venue custom watercolored by them. And so obviously if you're not getting married at that venue, which it was at her parents' house, so like I don't think anyone else is getting married there, you probably wouldn't want to use that wedding invitation suite just because even though it's beautiful, it has no tie to you. Because my invitations were a little bit more universal. They're not tied to any one thing. Anyone could really use them. They asked if I would be interested in them putting it up as a full set that people could purchase. I thought that was absolutely amazing. I don't make commission on it or anything, but I just thought it was so cool, and I was honestly honored that they even wanted to use it as a suite. So these are available on their website. Obviously you would go through, put in all of like your details and names, and I'm sure they would change anything that you wanted to. They were really great with making sure every single detail was exactly what I wanted, and I never thought I would get like so into all the details. Actually, that's a lie. I definitely knew I was gonna get into all the details, but there's even more to get into than I thought. Like I knew I wanted the wax seals, but then they started going into all the different options of what could be on the wax seals, and I'm like, I want gold wax seals. So we ended up doing a floral on one and our monogram on the other. And I think it's really awesome. I have my spreadsheet here that my lovely fiance put together for me. I'm in my dining room right now and I have everything situated in front of me so that I can just go ahead and start stuffing these. So first off, I need to go ahead and fill out the RSVP. This is to a couple, so there are 2 seats reserved. So I'm gonna get one of the invites, one of the vellums, one of the RSVPs I got, a detail card, and I'm going to start assembling. I'm gonna slide their little RSVP card in the back and I will put this in their envelope. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. We hired a photographer and 2 videographers, which I'm so excited about. We want to make sure to capture the day on video, mainly for us and to be able to show our kids in the future, and we're just really excited about that. But depending on the footage and what we kind of decide to share, we will probably upload some of that. Also hired our DJ for the dinner and dancing portion of our receptions. We're having live music for when people are coming in and being seated for the ceremony and then during cocktail hour, but then we will have a DJ for the other portions of it. We hired the florist and I have a meeting on Wednesday with them so that we can go over the actual like design, what I envisioned for the florals. The space that we rented out for the actual wedding, I feel like is very beautiful in its own right. So I don't want to go too crazy with florals. I feel like the architecture of the space is really stunning. So I want to let that kind of speak for itself. So the florals are going to be a little bit of a study of redaction on how wild we go with them. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it does in my mind. I'm gonna specifically pull back on like the florals and the extra decor and let the space that we're in really breathe and be what it is. We decided to do a welcome party where anyone can come the night before the wedding, and we're going to do cocktails, wine, and like heavy past hors d'oeuvres. So it won't be a full plated sit down dinner, but it will be heavy enough that like you probably could fill up on it if you wanted to, but because so many of our guests are coming in from out of town and they don't get to visit Nashville often, we wanted to basically have this event where if they want to pop by just for a drink and some appetizers and then go do whatever they want to do in Nashville for that evening, they can do that, or they can hang out that whole evening with us. So we have a call on Tuesday with a musician that Grant has actually played with before. before and really loves and said was absolutely incredible. So we're seeing how much he would charge to be our music that night. This is actually really fun, and I feel like Grant would enjoy this, so I think I'm gonna save some of them for him to do, just because, I don't know, I'm having a really good time with it. So for the welcome party, I do have a custom outfit that is being created. I cannot wait to share the sketch with you guys and the entire outfit. I got fabric samples recently sent to me, and oh my gosh, it is going to be so stunning. Along the same lines, I am getting a custom veil made. My wedding planner actually recently got married and had a custom veil made from a company that she was like, you absolutely have to work with them. After watching my video where I tried on the different dresses and I was talking about the type of veil I wanted, she was like, they can literally make anything. So they are custom making my veil, and I am filming that process too. So I am just having so much fun with this whole thing. It is just absolutely incredible. So the outfit I'm really excited for. I'm also in the throes of planning the Bachelorette party. Obviously, my sisters are my maid of honor and my matron of honor, so they are definitely taking care of a lot of it for me, but my love language is gift giving, and I've had so much fun putting together the little Bachelorette bags that I'm going to give all of them for our Bachelorette weekend. I didn't want to do anything where everyone had to like travel and spend a bunch of money. I know how expensive weddings can be when you're asked to be like a part of the bridal party. So I wanted to make it as easy as I could. So we are doing something in Nashville. Most people don't have to travel. There are a few. My mom, my little sister, my mother-in-law, and Alexa Losey are the only ones that are going to have to actually travel for this. I would love for Kira to be here, but that is right around the time her baby girl is going to be entering this world. So I totally understand. Those are all of the kind of updates that I have as of right now, but there are some things that I need help with, and I feel like you guys are probably the right people to ask. So first off, wedding shoes. I have not selected my shoes yet. Of course, we would all love a pair of Jimmy Choos on our wedding day, but that is completely out of the budget. So I'm looking for something that is going to be more affordable. I'm probably not gonna wear them a bunch, so I don't want to spend too much on them. I prefer a chunkier heel as opposed to a skinny heel. I think the thinner profile on a stiletto would be a lot prettier, but because my dress is floor length, you're really not going to see it. Toe wise, I think I would either go for like an open toe or maybe a pointy toe. I'm not sure. But if you guys have any recommendations of where I can check for that, as well as wedding jewelry. Like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do in terms of like necklace, earrings. Obviously, I'll have my ring on. I don't think I'm gonna do bracelets. I have to get this one actually taken off at a Cartier. I have to go there and have them take it off because it is stuck on. I've taken the other ones off, but I cannot get this one off because I stripped the screw. So if you have any affordable wedding accessory shops that I should be looking at, I would absolutely love if you would send them my way. I also am still looking for an after party dress, so we will be going out on Broadway, which if you know Nashville, you know that that is like the huge giant row of honky tonk bars. That is going to be where our after party is going to be. I'm thinking like short, white, cute. That's kind of what I'm going for. Haven't found it yet. We are trying to decide between doing a sweetheart table or a head table with our bridal party. There are pros and cons to both. I know a lot of people say that if you do the sweetheart table, it's like you get to eat your first meal as a married couple together, just the two of you. But then I've also heard a lot of people say that everyone just keeps like coming up to you anyways. So at that point, it might be fun to be with like your best friends and family that are surrounding you. This person gets 2 seats reserved. So that's where we're kind of just trying to figure out, like, do we want to do a sweetheart table or do we want to do a head table? If you have done either of those and you have any recommendation, or like if you're like, we did sweetheart and I wish we did the head table, or vice versa, please let me know. Honestly, so much of this stuff seems like it's just decisions that we have to make that at the end of the day probably aren't going to make that big of a difference. Like whether we're seated, just the two of us, or if we're seated with our friends and family, the entire day we're gonna be like kind of in our own little world with the two of us, but we're also going to be surrounded by all of our best friends and family. So I feel like you really can't go wrong. We have to make a decision, but I don't know which one I want. I set up a hair and makeup trial. I definitely want to get my hair professionally done. I'm still kind of on the fence about whether I want to do my own makeup or I want a professional makeup artist to do it. We also still need to pick out our signature cocktails. And then I need to create the gift bags for the guests. Like I told you, my love language is gift giving. And so anyone who checks into the hotel, either if they're staying where we have the accommodations or if they want to stay at a different hotel, we're just going to ask everyone basically where they're staying, if it's an Airbnb, whatever, and we are going to have a little gift basket delivered to them wherever they're staying. And I'm super excited to put those together. The very last thing I have a question on is teeth whitening. So I have tried white strips. I used to use them a lot. They hurt my teeth so badly that I literally feel it for like a week. There have been times where I've had my teeth whitened and I've had to just like get in bed to keep myself from just sitting there and like screaming. Like my teeth are so sensitive. And so I've tried a few different whitening products over the past few years, whether it's like the charcoal paste that you put on your toothbrush and brush your teeth with it. I am just looking for something that works, but that does not hurt. So if you have any recommendations on that, I would absolutely love that. I've got about 60 more invitations to stuff, and Grant is about to be home, so he is about to be doing it with me. And so I'm gonna go ahead and go, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.